Good morning to the participants. The topic for today is inspection and check of station accounts. Speaker for today's topic is Sri M. Manjaya Garu, Senior AFA, REAC. A brief profile of Sri M. Manjaya Garu. He joined Railways in the year 1989 and worked in traffic accounts and thereon as TAA for 15 years prior to joining Gested Cadre. He worked as TAA and he was awarded the Railway Board's award. In Gested Cadre, he worked as ADFM and DFM in divisions, AFA Construction, AFA Goods, Traffic Costing Officer, Chief Cashier, and Senior AFA establishment prior to joining Railway Electrification Secunderabad. He is a regular guest faculty at Sitara, ZRTI. He is holding a degree in BCom, LLB, and MBA Finance. Sir, welcome to the topic, sir.
Thank you.
Over to you.
Good morning, all. So, I am Manjaya, working as Senior AFA, RE in Secunderabad right now. So, today's topic will be inspection and check of station accounts. This is mostly related to the traffic accounts and the TAS one. Generally, inspections are associated with either ISS or TAS. It being the station inspections is associated with the TAS. Now, let us see how the importance of the station inspections, the changing role of the TIA in the wake of the computerization, how the cadre is going to survive, cope up by dealing various transactions, the role of traffic accounts officers in conducting the station inspection. We'll see the presentation now. So generally, this is the basic. Whatever we are going to talk revolves around about the functions of the traffic accounts regarding the earnings. So these are the basic functions of the traffic accounts office, envisaged for the all zonal railways, and as for the A2 also. So the first one is person to whom our service rendered paid correctly. So it is being taking place at stations and sidings. So whoever is getting the services or the services rendered to pay the amount as per the extant rules, tariffs, and that correct amount need to be collected from them. The second one is the correct whatever the amount is collected. So this is joint in, of the both commercial department and the accounts department. These functions are associated with both the accounts and the commercial department. So the second one is the collected amount remitted correctly. So whatever the amount collected at the stations has to be brought into the books correctly and remitted to the cash office timely. That is most important, timely, because it should not be delayed there, it should not be held up there. So whatever the amount collected, so it mostly this is within the realm of the cash office and the TIS. So during the inspection, we will see that the amount is collected and remitted. So these two are functions are directly related with the station accounts and the TIS one. Third one is apportionment of earnings. Of course, this is directly dealt with the traffic accounts office, not connecting to the TIS. So it is exclusive function of the traffic accounts office, then they will be dealing. So now whatever we are going to talk will revolve around these 2 points. How the amount, how the services are rendered, how the amounts are collected, how they are remitted to the cash office. So these two functions mostly refer to the internal check of the traffic earnings. It can be broadly divided into 2 categories. One is the internal check being conducted in the traffic accounts office, basing on the various vouchers and the returns received along with the monthly balance sheet. The second one is the initial records, whatever are their base records, are to be verified, and this is being done by the mechanism of the traveling inspector of accounts. So this way, the internal check is being divided so that they complement each other. The vouchers, whatever are received, the various sections are there. As per the tariff fund manuals, whatever are the provisions are there, they are by checking the various returns in the traffic accounts office. So as far as field concerned, TAs are taking care of this. So inspections is the lifeline of the any organization. The normal routine check of the internal check may not reveal many aspects. The many other things are there which are not covered in the normal internal check of the accounts. This is being taken care by the inspections. That's why many traffic accounts officers and the general officers also have to conduct more number of the inspections. So it reveals the things which are hidden, which are where the financial leakage is there. So the inspections are to be conducted properly. That is one aspect. So instead of again not only conducting the inspections, again officers concerned simply by issuing inspection notes, their role is not over. They will have to pursue this and find out what had happened, various irregularities and frauds or whatever the taken that is not in conformity to the rules to be again pursued by them till its finality. Mostly this is not being done. Many of the officers are simply inspecting and issuing officers, but not knowing what happened to its fate. So as far as accounts concerned, the internal sections who are there, they don't go to the field. So it is being assigned exclusively to the TIAs and it is being looked after by the station inspection section is there. So it is the station inspection section. They look after the various internal audit pertaining to the station earnings at the stations. And it is different from the external audit that is being done by the C&AC. So that they will be doing the external audit. Ours is the internal audit. So their mostly station inspection section will be dealing the various reports submitted by the TIAs and how they are, and they have to pursue them with the respective counterparts, that is the executives, that is commercial department. It may be different, the inspection report submitted may be different, maybe why they call it 6 normal irregularities. And special letters are there, special reports are there. They are called many serious irregularity, any system lapses or the frauds are taking place, they will report, bring it to the notice of the administration through the special reports, and they are being dealt in the section and put up to the traffic officers and written to the counterparts if they are at their level to the respective divisions, and they are given necessary to the headquarters at times also. So this is how the station inspection section is working. It is headed by an officer, maybe at junior level or senior scale level, and many inspectoral cadre officers are working in senior scale. I can say this is the only section where the highest scale, that is 5.4 or 4.8, inspectors are working largely to them. They have to be properly utilized by the administration. In none other sections, these sort of 30, 40, 50, 60 cases are there. All of them are at the height of the scales and they have to be properly utilized. So as per the para 33, that is chapter 33 and para 3301. So the check of initial records of accounts maintained at stations. Generally, these whatever the records are maintained at the stations, they are not brought to the traffic accounts office. Unless otherwise required or for any inquiry required only will be brought. Otherwise, they will be retained there. Yes, because TAS is not final authority there. Maybe there's some audit may be checking there. Their commercial officers will be checking, and the vigilance also will be checking. So the basic records they are to be meant for all the departments for all their check. Only unless otherwise specified or required by the traffic accounts office, they should not be removed from the premises of the. So this will have to keep in mind. So what are the internal sections? They envisage checks, envisage they will be conducting. Whatever the extracts received, maybe extracts received from the basic records may be correct or may not be covered, or they may be falsified. Who do not know? But anyway, that aspect, whatever is there, lacuna is there, that has to be certified by the TAS by visiting stations. They will have to verify the base records and find out what is happening, whether the records maintained is falsified or correct. The extracts prepared from the base records to be checked in token. If any irregularity takes place, undercasting, overcasting, or anything, any camouflage, this same has to be investigated by them, and they will go to the full extent of the entire period. They will be checking. So this way, the station inspection section will be bridging the gap between the traffic accounts and the station. So let us see what is the role of the station inspection section in relation to the traffic accounts office and in relation to the executive offices. So let us see what the station inspection, what is the importance of the station inspection section. So what sort of reports they deal, how they are handling the section. Then we will go through this presentation in opening. So inspections by TAS as per manuals and tariffs will be there, codes will be there. So TAS from time to time as per the schedule, depending on the station's quantum of the traffic dealt, basing on the mostly earnings, they will be visiting the stations. The frequency will be depending on the earnings, maybe once in a year, twice in a year, or 3 times in a year, or 4 times in a year. Depending on the quantum of the traffic, they are classified. They will be going to the stations and checking the records. So entire process is being taken, their programs and everything, their working is looked after by the station inspection section. So cycle of inspections, whatever are there, they should not be kept in arrears. So you know what happens, the station of inspections are kept in arrears. They may be frauds, irregularities, or anything can take place because the presence of TIA is a sort of deterrent for the station staff. And they have to be, the station inspection section has to ensure that the proper checks are conducted in time. So the main thrust of the TAS inspection will be to check the initial records maintained. So they are they must be very particular of checking the initial records maintained, and they have to tally them with the various records submitted to the traffic record office. So the very purpose of having the TAS mechanism is to see that the initial records are maintained properly. They conform to the various manuals and tariffs in prescribed proforma. They are maintained, and they only extracts the genuine figures extracted out of this and sent to the traffic accounts. So the entire check of the traffic accounts office depends on the case records being maintained at the stations. So this aspect is totally looked after by the TIS. So during the course, they will check and they will report various irregularities pointed out at the stations, and they will submit it to the station inspection section. The station inspection section, there will be some headquarters inspectors. They will be dealing all these reports, basing on the severity, the financial implications. They will be brought to the notice of the concerned executive officers, where they have to be a penalty they will have to pursue. So depending if it is a smaller irregularity, they may bring it to the notice of the lesser officer. If it is serious, they may bring it to the notice of the SC grade officer or the CCM or whoever is there or DRM also. So depending, so the section has to play a vital role, and they have to identify whether this is a fraud, intentional, unintentional, what will be the ramifications of this fraud, or they are expecting any similar frauds in the entire zone. If at all such thing is suspected, they will have to spread their check to the entire zone or the similar places elsewhere also. This has to be properly decided, well thought of and decided by the traffic accounts officers. This is most important. Suppose an important report submitted and dealt wrong limits, this will have a wide ramifications, financial ramification for the entire zone. So not only reporting, as I told you, in the inspections, the most important thing is that not only conducting the inspections, the rear guard action is that we will have to ensure that they are properly dealt, they are properly brought to the notice of the officer, and necessary action is being taken, or corrective action is taken, or the system improvement has taken. That one of the things should take place, so that then only will be, or the action initiated, maybe the staff or hearing staff may be taken up. One of the things should take place. Till that time, we will have to keep them alive and find out that all the reports are dealt properly. So one more important duty is to coordinate with various sections of traffic accounts officers, traffic accounts office. So in the traffic accounts office, they may be requiring various vouchers, various clarifications regarding the classification of the stations, or for the demurrage, war page, or whatever the basic data submitted, maybe alterations, corrections. So all these things, they cannot sometimes, they may not be directly dealing with the station staff, and they may through the mechanism of the TIS, they will be bringing to the notice of the TIS. So these are all the things, these are all the qualifications, these are all overwritten. So these are all the things suspected you have taken place at the station. So they will bring it to the notes of the TAS, where they will go physically and check and give a feedback, so that if it is correct, it can be rectified. If it is not correct, necessary error sheet or necessary corrective action will be taken. So one more important role of the station inspection is to deputy the officers for the FA or FA traffic or FA deputy traffic or any other officers from the traffic accounts or from the general accounts, whoever is going. So they will have the familiarity of the territory and they know the stations. So they know the working there, they know the traffic trends, all these things. So they will be having a knowledge, the section TAs. So they will be accompanying the officers and they will bringing, be highlighting also at times the irregularities, and their services are mostly sought after for conducting the inspection, because they will be conducting the inspections will be conducted 1 or 2 days. In this meanwhile, they will have to conduct there the physically the what is going on in the station premises, station various commercial contracts, the earnings or the goods shed, sidings functioning or not. So as I told you, the inspections is most important for rectification or to detect any irregularities. And to set them right, the inspections is the best choice. So the importance of the TAS section is that the station inspection, the maintenance of the records. So the mostly the traffic is being dealt is for there may be some cases which are being dealt for decades together, and we need to maintain the circulars correctly. So the mostly the traffic accounts office, the section officers or the staff, whoever is coming, and mostly they will be going on their tenure. And the maintenance of the circulars, particularly the important aspect of the station inspection section of the traffic dealt, and the various cases involved will go for decades with that, and the circulars need to be properly maintained, and they will have to properly equip the officers and give the proper information to the officers to take correct managerial decisions regarding the traffic. So the circulars plays vital role, because even to counter the executive officers, we need to have proper records maintenance and the proper records for timely and easily we must be able to get it. So during their course, they will find out irregularities, frauds, whatever are there. So all these things, whatever are there, the station inspection section, they will have to bring it to the notice of the concerned executive, so that necessary action can be initiated. So in addition to that, clearance of station outstanding. So most of the debits raised due to the insufficient records provided by the stations, the proper documents not received. So many debits were raised, maybe taken up, and they will be telling them going there and verifying. They will be in touch with their counterparts and providing the necessary information for clearance of the station outstanding. So now let us see what is the role of the TAS in this aspect. So as per chapter, the role of TAS envisaged as follows. They are extension of the TAO. So TAO office cannot go everywhere and verify the records. So they are termed as the extension of the traffic accounts office. So important role of bridging the gap between TAO and field. So the proper records are never put up to the TAO, and they will be bridging the gap between the field and the TAO. This is the important role of the TAS. So this is also most important and necessary also, because this bridging the gap will enable the administration to run properly and to take managerial decision correctly. So complementing the work of TAO, so whatever TAO does is not final. So if anything is there, they will be depending on the TAS, and they will have to provide the information, correct information to the TAO, so that the entire check of the internal check can be completed satisfactorily. There are eyes and ears of administration. Yes, traffic officers cannot go everywhere. For example, in South Central Railway, there are around 650, 670 stations are there. So all these stations cannot be inspected by the officers. So they are the eyes and ears of the administration. They will have to bring out what is happening. The commercial utilization of the open lands, or the commercial contracts are not put in place, or the what is happening, falling earnings, traffic trends. All these things, whatever is happening in the field, and they will have to hear, they will have to interact, they will have to bring it to the notice of the officers concerned, so that they can be taken care of at the higher level. To see that irregular frauds, okay, as far as nearly Indian Railways earnings are concerned, they are hovering around 2 lakh crores earnings. All these 2 lakh crores earnings are being sent through bearing the accounts office. Some earnings are directly accounted through the traffic accounts office. That may be around marginal 3 or 4%. The nearly 2 lakh crores earnings are being remitted to the traffic accounts office through the CR notes. It means indirectly the size of the TIA's organization is that. So they are checking the TCR notes and the remittance of the entire 2 lakh crores office from its origin to the time they are dispatched to the office and accounted in the traffic account. So such is the important role of the TIAs. They are seeing that these 2 lakh crores rupees are correctly collected and remitted to the traffic accounts office and being brought into the traffic book. So this is the importance of the TIAs. So that while collecting these 2 lakh crores rupees, there may be several problems. It being financial transactions, there may be several frauds, irregularities, embezzlements, alternatives, because mostly the station staff are for years together they will be working. They know when to remit, when to what not to remit, what to collect, and what are the collected amounts. In the beginning, they may be short remitting, at the month they may be making good taking, next month, following month. So all these aspects, whatever are there, so this is involved as far as money concerned, cash is there. So definitely these things will take place. We cannot wipe it out. For certain, they can be, at most they can be minimized, but we cannot wipe it out. So here the importance of the TIA's role is. So they play the pivotal role in collecting the cash and remittance to the traffic accounts and to the its finality, that is to the books. And also, they will have, okay, anyway, they will be having the routine checks as per the TIA tariff. Some may not be envisaged. It depends on the station consent or the new systems or the new policies being brought out. Some may not be in the books. Some may be, they will have to, as per the situations, they will have to go and verify them. So mostly, anyway, whatever the records are going, the accountant, tick, cross tick. So regarding the totals and all, short account, they can be carried out in the traffic accounts office and they can do it. But anyway, for example, they will have to check some 3 days or 4 days transactions. If anything irregularity or anything not found in conformity to the rules, they will have to extend their check and alert the traffic accounts office so that they can be checked fully. So their main role is to see that, to concentrate the areas that doesn't come under the purview of the traffic accounts office. Most important, because traffic accounts office sitting in there in the and they cannot do anything. Certain aspects they will have to be invariably brought out. I will tell you what are the various aspects that doesn't come under the purview of the traffic accounts to be dealt by only TIAs. That I will in the ensuing slides I will tell you. And one more important thing is that they will have to coordinate with their counterparts, that is commercial inspectors at broader level, ACMs or the senior DCM's office. They will have to go there. They will have to deal with them. They will have to coordinate with them for proper implementation of the rules. So ultimately, the proper returns submission to the traffic accounts to be ensured. So in addition to them, they will be having the important role of guiding the line staff in implementation of latest rule. So it is satisfying part of any TIA is, it is an opportunity for them to guide the staff, to tell them what is to do, what not to do, where is the problem, to guide them and to see that they are following the rules properly. So they have to feel it as a privilege to educate so many people, so many station masters, so many good supervisors, so many booking officers. They will have to take it as a privilege and they will have to be proud that they are meeting so many people and educating them. And it is fundamental duty of any TIA to see that they should not allow the frauds to happen or irregularities to happen if they guide them properly during their and also they will have to be in touch with them for any problem is there, any rule comes, any implementation is there. They will have to be in touch with their counterparts or the station masters at the stations. Now various social media forums are there. They will have to be in touch with them so that any doubt is there, any problem is there, unless it is attended or clarified by the commercial department or they will not be going there. So it is important duty of any supervisor cadre to see that the staff are well equipped, they are intimated. Suppose a new rule came, invariably they have to take it as a responsibility and tell the station, consent station, all the rules may not be applicable to all the stations. Some may be specified. For example, freight incentive schemes. They may be applicable in the boot sheds or the sidings. So they will have to alert them, this is the problem, or this is the fraud that has taken place in elsewhere. This is the lacuna of the rules, because at the time of envisaging the rules, we don't expect all these things. In spite of our reading the letters, circulars, top to bottom, and also reading between lines also, will be missing certain things. So before it going out of hands and gets institutionalized, so the TIA staff will have to be important. That's why I am repeatedly telling their main duty is to see that they are connected to the respective stations. They are connected to their respective stations. Staff and they are connected to their respective station staff and to be available at all the time, so that they can be the function can be done properly. So marketing efforts as they are needed to the industry. So now Railway Board is rolling out various incentive schemes, various policies there. Though at times they are proved to be clumsy, at times they are not very clear, maybe not up to certain times it is felt by the station staff to understand. So in all such cases, they will have to go through the circulars, discuss the headquarters, and be in touch with them, and they will have to educate the users, end users. They let it be merchants or the siding authorities, whoever is there. What are the benefits of these schemes? What way they can be useful to them? At times they don't pay concentration. They don't have that sort of mechanism also to see that. So they will have to tell them these are all the benefits. This way you can increase these discounts eligible to you, and this way it will be win-win situation for both the railways and the industry. So this is an important aspect because they are the ambassadors of the traffic accounts. They represent FNCO in the field. They will have to look into this aspect thoroughly and bring to the notice of the administration so that they can be dealt with the account. So various decisions need to be taken, whether it is trial trips or anything, at the field level. What any information is required, they will have to provide the information to them, and for taking the various managerial decisions. Now various dynamic pricing policies are there, and also some of them are very complicated. So they need to have proper information. They should have a clear idea and instruct the station staff. Now let us see the changing role of TIAs. So how the now as a TIAs, whoever has worked, now see there is large scale difference is there in working earlier in the manual era and the computerization era now. So humble PCTs has given its way. No longer we are having the PCTs. Almost 100% computerization has taken place. Everything sitting in our here in the offices, we can see what is happening in the station, how many rakes are loaded in the station, when they were placed in the siding, when they were removed. So what are the commodities loaded, what is the classification, and everything can be, what are how many tickets are issued. Even CCM sitting in his office can find out how many PRS officers logged in time at 8 o'clock, how many they were not logged in, how many trips are. So these sort of managerial information is available completely in the traffic accounts office and the commercial authorities also. So this information, whatever is there, almost rendering the TA's role, it's losing its sheen up to some extent as felt by many. So they need not go to station to verify this data. Concurrent check also they can conduct now. They can log into the files and see what are the rates booked, what is the class booked, what is the time, everything. They can go on, they can verify the data sitting in the office also. By providing the terminals, they can sit there and check. And as well, the check can be done by the TAO also. So ultimately, the reality for a TAA will be field only. So almost TAO is encroaching into the role of the TAAs. So the transaction audit no longer relevant. We are going and we need not require every page. We need not go to check and we need not now everything is available in the data. Now system audit they will have to be well equipped and to verify the data in the system. Various modules they will have to go and verify the data. This reduces the frequent visits to the station. So the importance of the TAS role are getting reduced to some extent. How I will tell you how they have to cope up, how they have to recoup this portion, how they have to again start freshly. So various applications are there. Now they will have to be updated under various applications. They will have the administration also has to take interest in imparting the training in the various applications to them. So as far as internal check concerned, all this data of the Indian railway stations, whatever are they, can be accessed in the traffic accounts office. This aspect can be taken care by the traffic accounts office. So the ultimately what happens for TAS, anyway, the internal check is devolved from them. And ultimately what happens, what is the survival of the TAS cadre? So ultimately they will have to depend on the unseen activities from the traffic accounts points. That is what is happening at the station. That is the so ultimately the field will be the reality. You will have to confine to the maximum extent to the field. Now is TAA cadre at crossroads. So as per the earlier version, we have seen what are the aspects TAs have to do, what can be replaced in the traffic accounts office. So ultimately, what is left for TAS, whether the cadre can struggle, they exist, or what the way they will have to reorganize or redefine their role. This aspect we will see. This is in the minds of the administration also. The increasing computerization has led to this theory. Now almost 100% computerization has taken place, bearing manual transactions. What are the manual transactions? Some may be parcels may be there, and some maybe TTs also. Now, unfortunately, we could not provide them with the handheld terminals till date. So, our counterpart in the state government, state road transport has provided the terminals, we could not provide. Maybe there may be some problem. Once it is provided and it goes online, those transactions also we can turn it into from manual to the system. So, as of now, only some parcel transactions and the TTS receipts still they are given manually. These only are involved in the manual check, remaining are computerized only. Manual intervention almost to the minimal. Now it's not required. Earlier for manual DTCs, they will have to go on multiplying, totaling, and bringing forward to the end of the data. So all this entire almost the checks, whatever of the messages have gone there. These days no longer required. Simply take a statement, shift statement, verify a bundle of the cash and close the DTC. So this way earlier closing the DTC itself was a big task, taking the numbers and verifying here. So this way there is many changes have taken place in the arena of the TAA working. Now concurrent inspection is possible. Whatever is station they are doing, that is visible, and here we can also the problem you can see. Now the problem is that one more thing, almost all price problems. Now RBS site is there, all distances are met, and all of them are vetted by the accounts. So the question of again calculating the distances generally doesn't arise, not required also. Everything is met, everything is programmed, and the authorities in the CRIS, they are taking the approval of the respective zonal railways, that is nodal railway, they are taking the approval and they are making it offline, they are feeding and they are making it online. So the rules, whatever are there regarding rates, routes, distances, everything now is pre-approved and loaded into the system. So earlier, these all things are every distance need to be checked, duly keeping the junction distance tables by the TIAs. Now, particularly, it became very, very cumbersome as 16 railways are there. Yeah, we have a traffic crisscrossing from Secunderabad to New Bongaigaon. will have to cross through 4 railways. Every junction distance to be taken and checked. It's very, very laborious and cumbersome. All these things now avoided. RBS site is available from any station to any junction, junction to junction. The interchange point, the data is available, and the even apportionment is also made very easy. So at fingertips, the data is available. All the commodities are pre-fed. Their classifications are pre-fed. Anything, irrespective of that, I'm telling, system is not final. Irrespective of that, many problems, many mistakes were detected by the TAS and rectified the system generated statements and the programs also. So it's not that once it is approved by the CRIS or the authorities, it will be final. So anyway, TAS with all their knowledge in the field and their working ethics and standards, they can identify certain problems, and it is also one of their duties see that what is the program or what is the new usage and rolled out by the CRIS is correct or not. Also, it has to be checked. Their role to be elevated to that extent. They will have to go and see. At times, TIS will have to, because of their experience, they will have to check what were the various board circulars issued and what were the circulars issued are in conformity, are issued, they are properly related to the field, whether they can be implementable, or any problem, or any in the problem, what the board wanted to convey through the circulars, what it did not do. So, to that extent, ATA has to start thinking and advise, because to the time it is implemented, there may be colossal loss also due to some lapses in the issuing the circulars also. So to this extent, TA cadre, by their virtue of their knowledge, availability, closer to the field, they will must be in a position to screw again, to verify and to bring to the notice of the board again. I've seen such cases where such things had happened before they go online and they may become a colossal loss to the railways. These aspects they will have to rise above all this, and they must be in a position to check them. Even the board letters, they must advise them, the letter should be like this, it should be read like this. Wherever required, some examples to be given, wherever ambiguity. So not only reading between the lines, the TAS must be in a position to see that the letters are issued properly, whatever the letters are issued are implementable. If any lacuna is there or problem is there, there is likely the financial implications and loss to be brought to their notice. This is the importance of the TAS cadre by virtue of staying over the years there and their domain knowledge. They will have to utilize them and become useful to the administration. Now, scope of error minimal, as decisions are, everything almost is rolled out and everything is now systemized. So the role of TIA is only if at all anything wrong, then only can be. Otherwise, as long the distances are correct, routes are correct, so the TIS will be the big. Then what to do? How to survive? So all these years they are like Gibraltar Rock. So facing so many adverse conditions in the stations, facing so many problems, they have even the staff side also, there may be problems. They are standing like Gibraltar Rock and guarding the final Indian Railway earnings. And what happens now if the TAS role is reduced or it becomes redundant? So now TAS role to be automatically what they have to survive, they will have to be redefined. The TAS roles have to be redefined basing on the actual necessities, duly eliminating the redundant checks, whatever are there. So all these checks, manuals issued in the 80s and 90s, TAS manuals, here which were issued decades back, no longer relevant in the present day context, and they have to be revised the present day, the working standards to be increased to the present standard, and the checks to be redundant, whatever, to be eliminated, and we have to make it survive. So how to survive the TAS cadre in the changing scenario, and particularly in the wake of the computerization, aggressive computerization? What is the role of the TIA how to continue the cadre in the present situation. So naturally, they will have to shift from the transaction audit to system audit to concentrate on various aspects that doesn't come under the next slide. I will tell you what are the various aspects that doesn't come under the purview of the TAO, and that requires the expertise of the TIAs to safeguard the railway earnings. So proper technological training to be important. Training is undoubtedly is very, very important due to existence of the Sitara. Now I am able to reach so many people there. We can impart or we can tell our experiences, the problems we face, or what are the pitfalls, where we have to be careful. So all these things, due to the existence of the such training centers like Sitara, I feel privileged to be part of this and to be reaching to the people of the officers or staff situated elsewhere. So training is most important because sitting, particularly TAs, they are sitting at the lonely places outside, going to the stations, conducting the inspections, mostly not connected by the group of people, unlike their section officers counterpart who are not near to their section officers or their officers and to the administration. They are far away, and their knowledge and their technological skills to be invariably to be improved because they are an asset to the organization. They are in the field. So their knowledge will be more and more number of classes to be held on the various aspects, topics, and they have to be well equipped. That's why the importance of the not only station inspections, the importance of the training lies. So as they are representative of the accounts office, they will have to be invariably focused on the various marketing efforts. So they are closer to the siding also. So whenever during their inspections, the various freight incentive schemes are there, rolled out by the board, they will have to go and talk to the vice presidents or CMs or whoever is their transportation and all. So they have to make it a point to talk to them because they are also very much interested. So naturally, everybody is interested to increase their business. So do with all their, because they will have the entire section, they will be similar. For example, cement sector is there or the coal mines are there. So they will be having minimum 3-4 cement companies or the coal mines in their jurisdictions. So whatever the good work done there or whatever the schemes implemented there, they can talk to them, they can get it implemented and they can help them in this aspect also. They can report it to the traffic accounts office also for further pursuits. So one more thing, non-fare revenue, as we can see in advanced railways like Japan and all, they are having their non-fare revenue to the extent of 30%, 35% also. Unfortunately, our non-fare revenue is to the extent of 5%, 6%, or maybe at most 7%, not more than that. So including both sundry earnings and the other coaching earnings is not up to the mark. So this is an area which requires larger improvement. So here TAS in the field, so they can say what are the various contracts put in place, not in place, what they have to do. So they can advise the administration how to use the various assets on the various rate links. The commercial parts unutilized, the excess land or the occupation of the land or the unutilization of the land. So all these aspects, whatever are there, whatever the potential marketing efforts, anything is there, they can bring it to the knowledge of the officers. They can definitely take part in the increasing the sundry earnings and the non-fare revenue earnings. It is an area TIA has to concentrate during its inspections. So the important, as I told you earlier repeatedly, the areas that don't come under the purview of the traffic accounts office. And here all these aspects, they will have to very, very, due to the presence of these activities, the TAS cadre will continue. Definitely, these are all the aspects that promote them and in execution of their duties also. So these are all the aspects that we have to concentrate. So let us see the resale of tickets. It was rampant when printed car tickets were there in mostly the neglected sections. So it's an easy for them to get back the tickets and sell them. So to here the same thing in the nearer, smaller distance, small lead distance stations. This can happen now also. It cannot be ruled out. So this doesn't come under the purview of the traffic accounts office. Only the AIS during the train checks or at the stations or at the checking the tickets at the gate. No, unfortunately, I think as per the railway board guidelines now, checking collection of tickets is dispensed with at the stations due to the paucity and due to the non-availability of the staff at the stations. So now ticket collectors are not collecting these tickets, or TIS also are not able to check these tickets. So there is always possibility for resale of tickets and also private printing of these tickets. They are taken place at there also. So this is also possible, private printing of the tickets, various checks and balances are there. Anyway, there is always possibility for resale of the tickets. And once it goes out of control, suppose they started 1 day, 10 days, 1 month, it goes out of control, it gets institutionalized and it goes beyond collection also. So it goes into the crores of rupees also. The loss may be occur to the railways. This is the one aspect which doesn't come because earlier PCTs or the collected tickets, whatever are there, being brought to the sent to the traffic accounts office, where there is an exclusive section is there, collected ticket section. There they will check the tickets issued, correct origin, fraud or anything. So there is possibility of finding out from the traffic accounts office point of view. Now there is no such possibility. Only after now they have obvious TIS in the field only during the inspections only and check they can find out this aspect and eradicate this. So this is the most important aspect of which TIA has to concentrate. Due to the same private printing of tickets. Next, surprise check yields results. So the check of cash at the stations, the check of tickets, inventory, cancelled tickets, non-issued, special cancellation of tickets. Surprise check definitely is a weapon for the TIS to know what is happening in their absence at the station. That is most important. So many things can be shortage of cash or the misuse of the cash, non-remittance of the cash of the previous day or the earlier cases also. So we have seen the by cases where the cash was not remitted, stating that banks are there, or the cash is not available, cash backs are not available. So these are all the various things where which can be brought to the notice by the TIAs during their surprise checks. So above all, the presence of the TIA is deterrent. So TIA is in the field, definitely, undoubtedly, it's a deterrent for them. Definitely, they will back on, and they will not be. Please mute. So they will not be. For TIA's presence is deterrent. So definitely. Hello.
थोड़ा ऊंची आवाज में बोलिए.
Okay, right. Able to listen? Hello.
थोड़ा ऊंची आवाज में बोलिए, आवाज कम आ रही है.
Okay, right. So TIA's presence is deterrent. So TIA presence there during the station is noticed by the even nearby stations also. So it is most important that during a tenure of time there, conducting inspections there. So it will be deterrent for the station staff. So then the another menace is overloading of the wagons or SLRs. So this doesn't come under the purview of the TIAs, TAO in the traffic accounts office. Will have to be invariably checked and brought to the notice by the TIAs only. Overloading of the wagons, it is taking place. In spite of now setting the way bridges and all, and SLRs also is taking place. Overloading is taking place. Then underpayment, non-booking of booked parcels, it had happened earlier also. The person at some lesser known or the branch line stations, the parcels are not booked directly; they are loaded and delivered at the next station or other station next to junction station. So underpayments under the non-booking of the parcel is also there is possibility. This can be only checked during the check and the surprise checks only. By weighing the parcels, they will be able to find out. Then inventory of parcels, it can be always be inventory of it's a fraud-prone area. So inventory of the goods, parcels, they may not be taking so that they can be avoiding the forfeit charges collection. So this aspect also, as when TIA visits a station, directly he goes to the station and he takes the inventory of the goods. you can easily find out whether all of them are brought into book, whether the parcels and goods pertaining to the previous week or 10 day are being brought into the books or not, or any misuse is taking place. Then demurrage and warface, it is a perennial problem. The exact number of hours are never taken. The placement, right from placement to the removal, the release of the wagons are never properly taken, and they are not also on real time now. So this aspect is being done manually, and subsequently they are feeding at their own will and wish. So this aspect, where during the time by verifying the initial records, whatever maintained, they can easily find out this aspect can be minimized to the maximum extent. At no point of time, this will be under the traffic accounts jurisdiction. So sometimes this is in this railway we have seen some of the buffer end extensions. Sidings will have a buffer end up to the distance, the through distance is being levied. So sometimes stations have extended and they have not notified, and the traffic is being continuously used to the revised buffer end, and they have not notified. Some of the TIAs during this their inspection, they have, because their proximity in the siding and all, they have brought it to the notice of administration, and immediately a notification was issued so that the extended distance, whatever is there, is being reckoned and brought into account, so that the earnings can be boosted. So this is one aspect, the important aspect of the TIAs. Whenever they go to stations, they have to see the layouts, bufferings, if anything is going on, whether it is extended or not, the same buffering is being used. Any other placements are there, any other new line is coming, or the traffic is being dealt there. And also, ultimately, the usage of railway loco. There are many places when their loco is not working. Sometimes, though their loco is working, they are asking the railways Indian loco to work shunting activities for them. This is being done once they go into the field. Generally, the role of the railways loco will be only placement, then detach, and again come back by the escaping line to the main line. That's all. They should not be attached again. Once they leave the leg there, they should not be attached. Once it is again, shunting charges will commence. This aspect was never looked into. There are places where two spurs are there. Again, the engine was attached, and the half of the placement was placed in the second spur, and this was not brought into the account. So these are all the various things. This railway SCR particularly is brought into the account. They have noticed, and they are subsequently they were notified, and we started collecting the shunting charge. So these are all the various things that is taking place in the field and brought to the administration notice, where the again it's being brought to the notice of the commercial authorities, and the system is put in place. So unless we have the TAS mechanism, all these above aspects, whatever I told you, could not see the light at all, and they become institutionalized, and they go out of control and results in crores of rupees lost to the administration. That's why we have to strengthen the TAA mechanism. Time to time, we have to see that proper checks are conducted, their roles are redefined, redundant checks, whatever are there, to be eliminated. So ticketless, some sections, ticketless traveling will be more. So we can easily identify during our journeys that what are the sections that is ticketless travel is taking place, so that some checks can be conducted. We can suggest mediums to conduct checks, some surprise checks by the TTS and all. So to some extent we can reduce them also. So misdeclaration of goods is almost brought down to nil present rate. So in a way, there is always possibility of the contraband goods also being loading, and the misdeclaration of the goods possible it cannot be ruled out. So manipulation of the basic records. So it is always it is happening. The manipulation of the basic records. They are overwritings. There may be embezzlements due to the short-term remittances, the misuse of the cash from time to time. So this possibility cannot be ruled. Manipulation of basic records, and these basic records are again submitted to the traffic accounts office, where they are checked. So unless the basic records authenticity is checked are correct, there is no meaning in sending the records, falsified records, to the traffic accounts office. So that's why the main responsibility is that the records are maintained genuine, authentic, and the same is transported to the traffic accounts office also. So this can be checked, the various alterations, the turning of the pages, the inventory books, the damage and warpage books, and everything. These are all the things which can be taken care during the field inspection. So misappropriation of the cash, permanent, temporary misappropriation of cash can always take place. As being the dealing with cash is always we have to be careful. Temporary misappropriation, at times it takes place at the beginning of the month. They send less. At the again, they make it good to tally the books. At the end of the month, they remit it and they tally the balance. This way, it's an endless cycle. They continue for months together also, so that they can camouflage this, and they at no point this will be brought to the notice of the traffic accounts office. As the returns are always perfect, the amount is remitted correctly. It has the whole mark for us. The period is whole month. And permanent misappropriation, there is possibility. We have seen a case in case one of the divisional headquarters. The amount was not remitted for 7-8 days. The amount was not remitted, stating that the cash is not available, cash back is not available. Ultimately, when the information has come from the cash office or the commercial authorities were alerted, when they wanted to check, cash is not at all available pertaining to the previous 1 week. So it has, this has led to the lakhs of rupees being not sent because there is no supervision, nothing. So at least whenever there are holidays, TAs have to take special interest in taking. There are continuous bank holidays these days, Saturday, Sunday holidays are there, and Monday, Tuesday also maybe at times there may be holidays. We'll have to ensure that particularly the commercial authorities have to ensure that properly cash is properly kept in safe condition and it is available. Because at stations, major stations, it may run into crores of rupees also. This aspect should never be neglected. So this is a primary responsibility of the commercial department. TAS may be there or may not be there. Only during the surprise check of during the inspection only, they can check the cash availability, what are the number of days cash not sent. They can, but the remaining days also, there is always possibility for non-remittance of the cash. So commercial department will have to be very, very careful in remittance of the cash. So whenever holidays are there, they will have to alert the station master, commercial inspector, or properly if required, an ACM maybe from headquarters may be monitoring that the cash is properly kept, and as and when the bank remittance starts, it has to be remitted. It is very, very important. Nobody can take a risk, neither commercial department nor accounts department can take any risk in this aspect. So during the inspection and their surprise checks, it can be easily detected by verifying the initial records, by verifying the scrolls received or the chalanas available. They will have to see that the amount is whatever collected is remitted to the cash office with due acknowledgements. If required, they will have to be in contact with the cash office, find out. Even in turn, even in cash office also, we will have to be very careful. Whenever cash is not received, they will have to issue a commercial control message, and they will have to alert the senior DC office that so-and-so cash of the particular station is not received. In spite of this, some lapses are taking place. The for fraud, what I have told earlier has come. Ultimately, the employee was charge sheeted. Even a single rupee could not be got back. Yeah, the employee was ultimately dismissed. Nothing is available neither in his PF account nor his bank account. So it had happened, and that's why the TA's role is very, very important. At times, they at stations also, there may be hostile atmosphere, hostile conditions also may be there. So it is not always the easiest job to do lonely at the stations. So misuse of non-issued specialty cancellation tickets. So as a TAS, you can easily understand what sort of havoc the stations can play non-issued by keeping the tickets with them for days together. They can always get it back and again cancel and keep it there, non-issued. Always these are all smaller things. Yet once it goes unnoticed, once they start adapting to this procedure, habituated, they will be going on repeating the same irregularities. So we'll have to, the TAS will have to ensure that proper cash movement is available. If at all cash movement available, cash has to be invariably sent. Whether cash is available or not, sometimes it may be very difficult for them because the relevant records are not being properly maintained at the stations. So they will have to contact their cash office or the nearby stations also. They will have to find out whether cash is provided correctly or not, whether cashbacks available or not, how many number of cashbacks available. During my inspection at one of the stations, DC headquarters, I have seen the cash is available for the past 6 days. When I came to know that, I inquired the reason, they said only 2 cashbacks are available. So then immediately we are ready to senior DSM office to provide more number of cashbacks to them. So such things do happen in spite of taking so much interest. So ultimately, the ultimate responsibility of the TAC is educating the field staff. Once they educate them, they can feel a bit relaxed that they're all well equipped, they can do their job perfectly, so that TAs can do their job easily. So one more thing, commercial exploitation applicant for commercial plots and fixing of license fee, and analyzing the various commercial contracts awarded to stations. During my one of the inspections as the AFA goods, I went to a particular station, which was DC headquarters. Their number of vehicles were parked and their commercial boards were displayed. When I checked with the station master regarding the availability of the cards, to my surprise, I came to know that there is no contract in place for the vehicles. They are all kept freely. They are going there. And when I asked for the commercial contracts, advertisement being displayed, they said the currency expired, it was not ready. So it is a pitiable condition. Somehow we could bring it to the notice of the senior DSM office and see that the contracts are awarded. Even in recently, I have seen one of the newspaper also that a particular divisional headquarter, the cycle stand contract could not be given either on quotation or on the regular basis. Contract could not be given, and it was handed over to the departmental staff, where they are remitting in hundreds of rupees, but collecting the thousands of rupees. And the lesser rentals is being taking place. All proper contract management is most important. When this is lacking, particularly in the various contracts being awarded at the divisional level, that may be due to the tendering process is being delayed by the vested interest or anything. But anyway, it has to be looked properly, not only divisional authorities, KAs, by virtue of their accessibility to the stations, by going there, they can verify the various records there. They can see the contracts are put in place. They are not there. They can identify them, the loss being occurred. So an officer's inspections also, it is necessary that whenever we go there, all the proper contracts are put in place or not to be seen. So this aspect can be particularly the commercial plots, vacant lands are there. Commercial plots are there. Why initially we may be allotting 1,000 square meters. They may be availing 2,000 or 3,000 square meters also. There is always possibility. The earmarking plots should be there. Mostly, unfortunately, the commercial plots allotted along the woodshed lines, the earmarking will not be there. We now know exactly what was the quantum of the area allotted, what was the amount being collected corresponding to the plots being utilized. It's happening. So the exploitation, whatever the possibility is there, they can bring it to the notice of the administration. So these are all the various aspects. KAs will have to redefine their role for their existence, for their continuation. So these are all the various things they will have to focus their shift there. These also traffic accounts officer, whoever are there, they will have to keep in mind while redefining the role of the KAs. So ultimately, so what is to be done? As I told you, TAA mechanism is most important. Continuation of the TAS mechanism is inevitable. As anything, if anything goes out of order, it gets institutionalized. And to set it back, it takes a lot of time. In the meanwhile, crores of rupees will be lost. So these are all the expertise supervisory cadre, and their services to be properly utilized. They have to be well guided and the duly imparting the training to them. So training, as I told you, undoubtedly in the PRS, UTS, POIS and all, So TIS are mostly habituated all these years for the manual checking. So suddenly they are asked to go and check the system audit by verifying opening, closing, and all by the PRS. So unfortunately, they may not be provided also. They will have to do their own cell phones or their own network, but they need to be provided some sort of incentive may be provided to them or to net and all. So terminals to be provided. They should have access to all the systems at the stations as well as in the traffic accounts office also. So necessary training or the infrastructure, whatever is there, to be provided to them, it definitely add to their working, increases their working standards. So not only working in the standard, they will have to increase their skills in the computerization also. So in one more thing is, whatever the frauds being detected, such big frauds also by simply writing a DO letter and not pursuing will not solve any purpose. So if at all any fraud is taking place or irregularity is taking place, it will have to be properly portrayed and bring to the notice of the officers concerned. Maybe at times to the notice of the GM, AGM, or to the commercial authorities also, we will have to bring it because it's severity. It's all decided properly dealt with the various reports. Maybe in our case, it looks like in our case, but we will have to, by virtue of experience headquarters TIS, they will have to verify and see what its relevance in the other divisions, other zones also at times. We will have to go there and verify. If the same thing, suppose certain things, fraud has taken place, different non-remittance, immediately we will have to ensure all the stations, all the divisions, and to see that all the stations, the remittance are properly made, and it has to be brought to the notice of the commercial authorities, and they will have to ensure. But unfortunately, this pattern is available in audit. For example, we have audit pattern, or they detect one such case. Immediately, they bring it to the notice of the CAG. Automatically, the entire India, across length and breadth of the Indian railways, they take up this aspect and they verify in all the major stations, and they see that it is not spread elsewhere or to curtail them. So this pattern of audit pattern of dissemination of the information regarding irregularities, frauds, I could not see in the journal railways. So if any fraud is taking place any place, any particular nature, the same nature, this has to be brought to immediately. It has to be a circular may be sent. It has to be notes of the now due to the existence of the social media and we must be able to get it disseminated and to see that it is curtailed. This is most important. So audit pattern, whatever is there, I have seen in case of audit, what if anything is there, any problem or any irregularity, that is definitely in that they are bringing it to the notice of their counterparts, seeing that it is rectified. So this sort of dissemination of the information of any fraud peculiar nature is taking place has to be checked elsewhere and bring it to the minimum. So they need to have concurrent check also. Concurrent check, the advantage of the concurrent check is that they can instantly identify the irregularity and set it right. Instead of going there after 6 months, after 1 year to a station, finding the fault and rectifying it there, by that time, almost the colossal loss will take place. So it is important for them to provide them to conduct at least some items, particular items, and the concurrent check need to be done. It prevents the future leakage of earnings. So invariably updating the manuals and codes. There are thousands and thousands of routes are there. For the coaching, other coaching, codes, sundry, and all these they have to be properly updated, made available to them during the inspection, so that they can easily find out. Otherwise, what happens? They'll be going through the outdated circulars and bringing it out unnecessarily. They will have to bring to the notice of their counterparts. It's all a cumbersome procedure, and ultimately the result will be nil. So the manuals, whatever are there, to be updated, and manuals and codes, whatever are there, the compendiums need to be issued. Warface a compendium, demurrage a compendium, inventory. So placements or whatever is there are private sidings. So it's all a specialized work and to be kept in place so that whenever they go for inspection, we can verify them and counter check with the station inspections. So during the earlier days also, before going to a station, going with PFA or inspections, we used to take stock of this entire audit whereas their entire working system and the returns taken from the traffic accounts office before going to the station itself. We used to prepare an inspection report so that this can be counter checked with them. Of course, anything is there that was not brought out, there can be found out. So this way, the information to be made available for the managerial reports also. So before going to the station itself, with the station profile, every TIA should have with him, so that if anything suddenly an officer is going there, so he should not be caught without information. So he will be in a position before going to the station itself. Such and such irregularities are there, such error sheets are taking place. So the staff shortage is there. So counters, the number of counters to be increased, or the many passengers are traveling due to the busy of the counters. So all this traffic trend. So TIAs in the field have to be well equipped with all these things so that any officer coming on short notice also, they can provide the information. Remaining thing, if anything is there, officers themselves will check and they will find out. So the TIS cadre, to continue them, we need to have and provide the information to the officers in right time and at the shorter time also. So UTS, PRS, PIS, I think some railways have provided. If at all not provided, they have to be provided to them. So to conduct the concurrent check. Timely coordinating the executive office, it's one more thing. There is always a problem, some other issue. There are always gray areas regarding debits, error sheets, whatever are reserve working standards, post facto sanctions, or anything. Certain places, the electrification is being done, but still, in spite of electrification done, and the operational, we are going on debiting the siding charges on the diesel locos. So, not notifying the stations of siding in time. So, these sort of things, coordinating officers will not be there. Then, subsequently, they will be doing the post facto. In the meanwhile, accounts office will be debiting them. So, these sort of things will be concurrently. So, they have to be in touch with. So, there are maybe they may disagree in certain aspects. So, ultimately, they will have to be well coordinated with the stations concerned, or the station masters, or the commercial officers concerned. They will have to coordinate with them, so that if any grays are there or any disputed debits are there, they can be settled. It is most important. Now, in this railway, we are having the further clearance of the outstanding at the regional level, and sometimes with the senior DFM, the TCM's meetings are there, and at also with the CCM when the FNC was also, the meetings are being held in the particularly in the month of March to contain the outstanding to the lesser extent. So, and also this particular aspect coordinating we have to see. In such case, one case we have seen, one siding was closed 10 years back, and it's, unless its closure is given, maintenance to be ensured. And till that time, the amount worked out to 70-80 lakhs rupees. The amount was not paid by the siding authority, stating that they have not used the siding. So all such things, whatever are there, it went on. The party is not paying, stating that they are not using. Railway rule says that siding agreement, that unless official announcement is given or the notification is given, siding it has to be maintained and charges to be collected. Ultimately, the party was taken up. The party was loading elsewhere in another region. That time I was DFM Kottakkal. By virtue of my background, TIA background, I have it was pending for the past 10 years. I have taken up the issue and I have talked to the senior DCM and along with senior DFM. We talked to the DRM. We have talked to the DRM of another division where they are operating. We told them to deduct the 80 lakhs from their e-payment system, and the amount was rightly deducted by them, and the outstanding dues was cleared. After 10 years, there was again clause for leaving the interest and all for delaying payment. Anyway, it's not justified because it was not operational. We actually sidings, we do not know. Form also whether siding is maintained or not. When we ask PWL, he says he maintained, and the citing authority says that they are not maintained. Anyway, ultimately, the amount we are able to recover the amount from the citing authorities after the protracted battle with them. These sort of things happen in the field. Certain times, even the divisions are also not aware of these provisions because they are not directly dealing as extensively. Divisions are dealing the expenditure side. So this aspect, TIS will have to be in touch with particularly sidings of divisions like Secretariat and Vijayawada. There many sidings are available. So it is not their daily working or daily cup of tea for a senior take home office. Particularly the maintenance charges and all, whatever are there. Hardly they go there. These are all the aspects to be taken care by the TIS during the inspections. So their domain knowledge is undoubtedly supreme, and they need to apply this wherever they go, and they have to be definitely a part of the organization in increasing the earnings and in tackling the frauds. So computerization tax now various tax now PS manuals are there. Number of checks are being provided, including the collection of tickets and all, which were envisaged when the manual era was there. So all of them became redundant, no longer applicable in the present day context. So they are all to be revised and duly working out the scale times, if at all, or not regard increasing the scale time, or duly including the other aspects, or the decreasing the scale time, depending on the quantum of the traffic also. At major siding, port siding, these days, daily 15 to 20 rakes also are being dealt. The TA is working there for the time 6 days or 7 days, 7 days. The hundreds of rakes, they cannot check. It's not possible. Replacement, release, damage, war phase, competition, all not possible. So they have to be invariably checked and reduced in such places like Krishnapatnam, where hundreds of rakes are being dealt during their broken period. And so they need to be brought down so that the check can be exercised efficiently. At places where there is no, they can increase. At the good sheds where there is lesser traffic, they can increase the number of rakes to basing on the number of rakes instead of days. So these sort of checks, whatever are there, they can be reorganized or redefined, and they can on realistic basis, they can revise the TIS manual. There are many redundant checks are there, which were only focus was on the manual working era that time. So these are all the things to be kept in mind while working out the TIS manual revising. And also there should be a common TIS manual across Indian railways. For all the zonal railways, we should have a common TIS manual so that the checks exercise can be well thought of, and the nodal railway or whoever is chosen will have to compile and circulate to the all the railways so that the uniformity will be there in checking, and if anything irregularities are taken also can be easily identified. And the TIS manual to be made uniform and global. It should be so for across all the railways. It should take place. So this is how TIS, though they are working in adverse condition, though they are termed as the lone rangers, so they will have to work alone in the unfamiliar places, on the unfamiliar conditions, they will have to work. So administration has to make out the support them, and by giving the technological whatever is there. And in the wake of the computerization, it is necessary to see that their role is redefined and the survival of the TIS cadre, which is most important. Okay, thank you. Any doubts, please ask me.
Yeah, participants, you are all unmuted. Please ask the doubts.
Sir, good afternoon, sir. This is Tanni Ravi calling from Thrissur, sir. Hello.
Good afternoon.
Sir, it is with respect to frauds that is getting that is committed, sir. Sir, actually, I think we may have to reintroduce the facility of checking on collected tickets. So because that is important from our from the tickets issued from the station, as well as from the tickets which are issued from the outage, that is the NRH centers as well. So because recently, that is a few 1 year back, 1 or 2 years back, we had a problem with the printing of buffer ticket. That is the previous ticket getting printed on the subsequent ticket. That is just subsequent ticket. So so the possibility is the possibility of mistake is very much high. So that is the either the passenger will have to bear a higher cost, or else the booking clerk will have to pay from his pocket. So either ways, it's not right. So this will not be detected through our system, or can be detected only when the tickets are collected. So this is one such case. And also with respect to mismatched tickets, I think the fraud, now the transactions have come down, but then because of COVID, but then a couple of years back, so we had lots of frauds were committed. The frauds were committed in the order that initially it used to be accidental. Accidentally, they used to come to know about the fraud. Then they used to experiment it, and then it used to become intentional, sir. This is with respect to mismatched tickets. And then the way they used to earn is by they used to find ways to nullify the ticket. That is, we have again 3 ways of nullifying. That is, they would either non-issue the ticket, or special cancel the ticket, or else take full manual ABR of the ticket. So this was the modus operandi which was done some couple of years back. So, and then what we used to do here was in Southern Railways, that we used to see what was actually the cause of the fraud and how it was done and why it was done. I don't know whether it is applicable presently, sir, in the present context. I just wanted to bring it to your notice, sir. Thank you.
What is your designation?
Sir, I'm accounts assistant. Accounts assistant, sir.
Okay, where?
Clerk, accounts assistant. Sir, in Ernakulam South. My headquarters is Ernakulam South, and I'm under SAOT TPJ. Yes, sir.
Okay, understood. Now, what you have said, okay, there is only one possibility. This can be arrested. Only 2 provisions are there. One is that TAS during their surprise check, such tickets, existence of such tickets, and the availability of such tickets, they can easily verify. The other one is collected tickets, as you told, that the collected tickets only we can identify them and prove the irregularity, whatever is there. So that will be a proof, so that we can identify and rectify the irregularity. So these 2 things are there, provision, which was rampant during the SPTM time. Even in the UTS time also, it was started, but right now it has come down drastically, such extents. Anyway, still they can happen. So regarding collection of the tickets, the railway board has dispensed with collection of the tickets. That's why these days nobody is collecting the tickets. The very problem is that these tickets are not available at the destination. Once we have the possibility of collecting, it's always collected tickets is always a gold mine to the traffic accounts office to find out such irregularities. So we can leisurely sit there, identify them, irregularity, check those tickets. We can easily alert the TIS or the commercial department. We can set it right. So always non-issue tickets or cancellation tickets, fraud is always there. We have to see that immediately on the following day, depending on the railway. For example, I came to know that in Central Railway, these tickets are dispensed with at the station itself duly after 15 days or 20 days. But in South Central Railway, these tickets are supposed to be sent to the traffic accounts office on the following day. Once they are kept there and they are not rented, they are not sent in time, this fraud can take place. So the one thing is that the TIs during surprise checks and the officer surprise check, we can see at the counter. The second one is restoration of at least some of the days, the collection of tickets should be there. It is gold mine of information. Undoubtedly, we should have the collection of the tickets. Definitely, this will provide some information. As I told you, resale of the tickets or any changes also. There was cases where timings of the tickets were changed and issued. So such things can be avoided. So at least monthly, 1 or 2 days, at least 3 days periodically, 10 days, or 1 day, ticket collection to be ensured so that any private printing or the resale is taking place, or any tickets, if at all, will be proof with there for us. Availability of the physical ticket will be the proof for us. Once the ticket is available, straight away we can nail them down. So this is to be done means we should have the proof of the tickets mismatch ticket. So mostly these are not available for us right now. So we may introduce 1 or 2 days collection of the tickets, and they may be sent to traffic accounts office retained there for the TAA check at least. Okay, understood? Okay. Anyone else? Okay, Subramanian, shall we wind up?
Yes, sir. I think there are no doubts from the participants, sir. So that was a very informative and detailed session on the subject, sir. Thank you very much for sharing your experiences and knowledge on the subject. Hope everybody who has participated would have definitely benefited by this session, sir. Thank you. Thank you very much, sir, for coming over to this session and briefing the participants. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So,
thank you all.
Topic for the tomorrow is role of audit, types of audit, para and its disposal, and theme audit. Speaker is K. Damodar Prasad. The login timing is 11 o'clock and session starts at 11:30 and ends at 13 hours. Thank you very much.